Page 57. So now we're going to use this trig to figure out pieces and parts of a right triangle. Here we have a right triangle with a hypotenuse of 14 centimeters. Theta, the angle between the hypotenuse and the adjacent, is 37 degrees. So first we're going to figure out O. So to determine O, we're going to use sine, which uses the known angle and the known hypotenuse. You can see it right there on the page looking at the egg. And we can see that opposite equals the sine of 37 times the hypotenuse. So, using the calculator, we go sine 37, and going out 3 places, rounds up to 0.602. And my hypotenuse is 14. And I get 8.428. There it is. To determine A, I'm going to use cosine, which uses the known angle and the hypotenuse. So the cosine, okay, so my A is going to equal the cosine of 37 times my hypotenuse. So I go cosine 37. I get 0.799 times 14. I get 11.186. Now, when you do these, you always want to do a sanity check. And by that I mean this. 37 degrees, that's the skinniest angle in this triangle, so the side opposite that should be the skinniest side, and it is. Also, your hypotenuse should always be the fattest side. So, is it the biggest? Yep, that's the fattest side I got. So, that's what I mean by a sanity check. If you had a side, for instance, that was bigger than the hypotenuse, then you would know that something went south. So that's what I'm saying. Just do a quick sanity check when you go through these. Let's try another one on page 58. All right. All right, so we have 28 degrees, and that's my hypotenuse, my opposite, my adjacent. All right, so to determine H, I'm going to use cosine, which uses the known angle and the known adjacent side. So my adjacent side is 25 pounds. I forgot to put that there. Okay, so I know what my adjacent is, and I want to find the hypotenuse. So that means I've got adjacent, I want hypotenuse, so that means I got to use cosine. So hypotenuse equals adjacent over the cosine of 28, and that's going to be 25 over 0.883. I got 28.313. All right, so 28.313 pounds. Okay, I could put some arrows here, like so. Okay, now I'm going to go for the opposite side. And for that, I'm going to use tangent. All right, so because I've got adjacent side and I want opposite, so adjacent and opposite, that means tangent. So according to tangent, opposite equals the tangent of 28 times my adjacent .532 times my adjacent of 25 . 13.3. And again, sanity check. Skinniest angle, skinniest side, fattest side, opposite the 90-degree angle, my hypotenuse. Okay, so that one checks. All right. Next page, I'm going to show you how to run your calculator backwards. Okay, it's 13.5 feet. And this is 21.0 feet. Okay, I have an unknown angle theta. That's my hypotenuse, my adjacent, my opposite, and my adjacent here. Okay, now when you're dealing with this, when you have the unknown angle, the thing you need to do, and this is street fighting trig, the thing you need to do is you got to figure out your theta first. Figure out your angle before you do anything else. Well, what do I have here? I have opposite and adjacent. Those are the only two pieces and parts I got. This is sort of like going to the kitchen cupboard to see what's in there to make a sandwich, and all you got is peanut butter and jelly. So there's only one kind of sandwich you're going to make out of those ingredients, and that's a PBJ. So in this case, I got opposite and adjacent. The only thing I can do is make a tangent sandwich. So the tangent of that angle is opposite over adjacent equals 13.5 over 21.0. And I got 0.643. All right, that's the tangent of that angle. That's not the angle itself. It's the tangent. It's kind of like the phone number. Now, here's where we run the calculator backwards. I'm going to find out what angle has a tangent of 0.643. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to hit second or shift, my top left hand, tangent, and I'll see this on the calculator. That's the reciprocal function. Okay, I'm doing the reciprocal function of tangent. And let's see what angle it yields. So I got tan -1, and I'm going to punch in 0.643. Hit enter, and I get 32.7 degrees. So now I know the angle. Okay, now I can determine h by using, determine h by using either sine or cosine. And just for the purposes of demonstration, we're going to do both. So first I'm going to use sine. Hypotenuse equals the opposite over the sine of 32.7. Opposite over 32.7. So my opposite is 13.5. Let me write that again. Okay, let's try that again. My hypotenuse is going to equal opposite over the sine of 32.7, which is 13.5 Now I'll do the sine of 32.7, sine 32.7. I got 540. And I got 25 even. All right, now I'll use cosine. Hypotenuse is going to equal the adjacent over the cosine of 32.7, which will be 21.0 over cosine 32.7, cosine 32.7, I have 0.842. So 21 divided by 0.842, I got 24.941. Okay, 25.0, 24.941, they're within a few hundredths of each other. And that is just a question of how far out you go with your decimal points. I cut off after 3. But you can see that there are many roads that lead to Rome, so we'll just put the 25 up here just to keep it nice and neat. All right, again, sanity check. Skinny angle, skinny side, fat side, 90 degrees, that's the hypotenuse. It passes the sanity check. And so there you go. That's how you do reciprocal functions. All right, you hit second or shift and then hit your trig function, and that will tell you whatever angle is associated with that particular trig number, or that trig function number. Okay, so we'll pause here.